All right, show me the money. NFL picks for Wild Card Weekend are here. We're gonna pick all six games here. And joining me today, last talk to him right before Thanksgiving on this podcast. Nick Fraietta is here. Nick, how are you?
Doing fantastic. Very excited. This is the greatest wild card weekend ever, somehow. I think it's because this season has been so crazy that we're at week 19 technically, and there's still no good teams. So that's why.
I think there are good teams. I think it's just a collection of them, no superpowers.
That's what I mean by that. There's no superpower team.
Yeah, we don't have the 15 win Lions last year or the Chiefs going for perfection for a bit. Like we
Yeah, we
have
do we do have three 14-win teams, but I don't know if that ever happened, but all of them they seem beatable.
They do seem beatable here, and we do have we're close on Giant business here as continue to find ways to make things harder on themselves. They win both week 17 and 18, turn the first pick in the draft into the fifth pick in the draft. Joe Shane is staying. Your thoughts?
I just can't understand how they are so they might be the best team of all time when the number one pick is on the line. Like if it's really crazy how good they are with it. I can't blame them for the Raider game. They're significantly better than the Raiders, even when they don't try.
Yep.
The Cowboy game, on the other hand, you could see Dallas was kind of barely playing, and then in the second half, legit stopped playing,
Yeah.
and the Giants just kept going for it and knocked themselves out of. I know you could sit here and say they would have had the first pick had they lost, but if they lost, Vegas would not have won.
Yeah, Vegas would have like tanked harder,
Right. So they probably would have had the second pick, which is a lot better than five, but just very unfortunate. I
especially if
mean,
a certain quarterback Morgan comes out. Then it becomes much more valuable.
yeah, they were going to trade down regardless. So at the end of the day, they'll probably end up with the same player, but they're going to lose out on a couple of picks that they could have had in addition to that.
Yeah, and obviously they're in the coaching search here. And since the top of the pie, like I recorded with Joe D earlier, and like on Monday, we had the news now that John Harbaugh has been fired by the Ravens. He's on the market. Should be, in my opinion, the top pick for the
Yeah,
Giants. Like, do you see any way
100%.
this doesn't happen? Because I feel like of the openings that are available here, the Giants are the best one.
I agree. They should be going all out for him. I'm sure they are also. I know I heard that within 15 minutes of the news broke, seven teams called.
Yeah, and with only six openings, that
Crazy.
means somebody with the head coaching place called.
Yep, yep, that's funny. And there's six openings that include Baltimore.
No, there were six openings. They did not include Baltimore.
Okay,
So
okay, all
if
right. So
if
yeah,
17 is called, at least one team with existing head coach called John.
yeah, he has to be the top candidate. There's no reason he shouldn't be. I do want to say though, there's a lot. This guy has a horrible rap, but I want the John. If they can't get John Harbaugh, I really want them to get Mike McCarthy.
Yeah,
And he has a bad rap around the league, and everyone says, "Oh, he makes the playoffs and loses all the time. He's a loser in the playoffs." The Giants haven't won more than five games in 8 years, besides the 1 year. Making the playoffs and losing would be awesome.
yeah. I mean, the man wins 9 games consistently.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you're going to give me, I'm in. I
Yeah,
mean, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about John Harbaugh. That needs to be the guy they go for. Also, I'd really like to get Shula or Kubiak. Either of them would be nice as well. But if John Harbaugh's available, you need to go all out for John Harbaugh, and I think they are.
yeah. I would like. I mean, the previous report had been that Stefanski was the front runner before Harbaugh hit the market. That's also not a bad shout if you're looking to develop a quarterback. Like he's
I
done it.
agree. Yeah.
He's done good work in Cleveland. I mean, he won coach of the year twice with the Browns. That tells you something.
Yeah, I think like seven of the last eight coach of the years have been fired, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's done good work and he can develop a quarterback and yeah, it seems like you have one in Dart. What would be nice, which is literally impossible, what would be nice is if the Giants could get Brian Daboll to be the offensive coordinator, but that's not happening.
No.
The only time I can think of anything like that happening is Vance Joseph coaches the defense for Denver, but that's like 5 years later. That's not 1 year later.
The closest thing you
Big
think
difference.
is actually the college level where like Virginia Tech fired their head coach and they hired James Franklin. They brought the coach back because he was like Franklin's former defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I know Vance Joseph did it with Denver, but again, that was like I said, a 5 year gap in the middle.
Yeah.
So I don't see that happening.
I think, wait, if you're a Giant fan, I think your big hopes has to be that John Harbaugh wants you, but pulls a Liam Cohen and says, I'm not taking this job if you give me Joe Shane.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. And
So,
you know what? Like, if keeping Joe Shane but getting John Harbaugh is on the table, I'm in.
yeah. I,
Like, I'm in. That's fine.
yeah, but like if John Harbaugh says to you, it's me or Shane, you pick John Harbaugh.
You pick John Harbaugh 30 years from now, still.
Yeah, it's like because John Harbaugh knows guys, and I would take
Yeah.
anybody of that Raven brain trust over anybody that's been in the Giant building.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
All right, let's get to the playoffs here for a little bit here because I broke down some of these games with Joe D earlier in the pod, so they're looking forward to here. Is like you mentioned here, it's a stacked weekend pretty much throughout. Like all we're going to talk about in a minute, all the lines are very close. You have compelling games throughout, and I know on the broadcast, I don't know if you're aware of this, like apparently every one of the networks broadcast this weekend had the Bear Packer game as their first or second pick. So Prime
Wow.
Getting It was interesting.
Yeah. It is. It's look, there are five out of the six games have a spread of four or less, or I guess five or less because it's one of 4.5. Most years, wild card weekend, I feel like you got
One good game.
multiple touchdown spreads,
Yeah.
like multiple spreads that are a touchdown or more. You have one this week, and the one that you do, the home team is the underdog
And they beat them previously.
and beat them not that long ago, like in December, I think, or
Yep.
even November. So you have a very, very stacked lineup here where really, I really can't see the large spread. I'm pretty sure who's going to win. But the other five games, even money line, I'm not that sure.
Yeah, definitely a fun spot this week for sure here. So we'll go ahead and start getting into it. We'll wrap up the regular season first on terms of the pick coverage here. So we'll go to the week 18 visit from Alan Pines. The great Alan Austin stopped by. So what he
It's a
went
very hard week. I really have
Yep.
to.
Yeah, he went 2-1 on the week. He had the Saints +3 against the Falcons. They covered. He had the Packers like getting 6.5. They did not cover. Barely tried, so that was a loss for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the Steelers +3.5 in game 272. So 2-1 for Allen, 19 and 35 on the year for the Challengers.
Challengers had a really rough week. It's
Yeah,
funny because when I came on your pod, I went 0-3,
yeah,
but I pick every game in a pool. Otherwise, I
yep.
went 11-5 that week.
So you just have to use three of your
But
bad picks in that
or
one.
maybe it was 11-4 because they were like a bye week or something. But I went like I dominated the week, but like the only ones I got wrong were the ones I said on here.
Yep, yep. I went 1-2 last week. I had the Bears laying the 3 against the Lions that they look for revenge for week 2. That didn't happen. I laid the big one with the Jags. I was -12.5. I covered it, so that was my one win. I had the Ravens laying the 3.5, and like even if Luke makes that field goal, I still would have lost because
Yeah.
they would not have covered the spread. So 1-2 for me, 35 and 19 in the regular season for me.
But a great year for you. 35-19 is really, really good. It's like a 66 winning percentage. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's basically 2 out of 3 picks I'm getting right every week.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, so that's the stuff here. We're going to start now with the wild card matchups. We'll go one at a time. We'll each alternate on the pick for that game. So we'll go chronological order through the spreads here. So we will start on Saturday, 4:30. Fox has the first game. They get 2 games this weekend. We have the Rams at the Panthers. The Rams are 10.5 point favorites. Nick, what are you doing?
I'm taking the points with the Panthers. I don't think they're going to win the game, but in a playoff game with a team coming across the country, it just seems like too many points to me. I can see a situation where they're losing by 16 and get a garbage time touchdown and cover the spread.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm taking the points as well here. That's a big number because he basically asked him to win by 2 touchdowns to cover it. Plus, you mentioned Rams flying across the country. Rams have not been playing too well of late. Rams on a short week because they played Sunday and are going to Saturday. The Panthers have an extra day on them here. So all those things make you think that game is be closer than people expect.
Yeah, again, I don't think they win the game, but I like the number.
All right, so that's the first game. Game two, Saturday night, the much coveted Bears Packers game on Prime Video at 8 o'clock. The Packers are 1.5 point underdogs against the Bears. So, Nick, what are you doing?
I'm taking the Bears. The Packers haven't won since they beat the Bears 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
When was the last time a team lost 5 games in a row and then won a playoff game? I feel like they're spiraling out of control. We always talk about how it's so important to get hot before you enter the playoffs. We got to talk about how important it is to not be cold entering the playoffs. I know they're banged up, and I could potentially see it flip around. This spread has gone crazy. It's gone back and forth like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
But I don't see you losing 5 games in a row and then just waking up and going, oh yeah, let's win now.
Yeah. I'm going to go against you here on this one. I am going to take the Packers, get the 1.5 here. And this is also, you mentioned the Bears, the Packers not once they beat the Bears. The Bears not once they beat the Packers either. They lost their last two going into the postseason. So this is an unprecedented situation here. And I'll take a team with more playoff experience than the one that might be a little tight playing a home playoff game.
It's fair. It's fair. They both kind of backed their way in if you think about it.
Yep. So that's game two. Game three, Sunday at 1 on CBS. I'm annoyed I have to miss part of this game because I have to work. The Bills at the Jags. The road Bills, 1.5 point favorites. Nick, what are you doing?
Actually, I'm picking the Bills with minus the 1.5, but my brain is telling me to pick Jacksonville. My heart's taking me to take the Bills. I am not a Bills fan, as you know. I'm a fan of the Giants, but I work with a lot of Bills fans who are very passionate in Buffalo, season ticket holders. And for them, I'm taking the Bills. Like I'm rooting for them heavily, and I would feel wrong picking against them, so I'm taking the Bills. But this is going to be a one hell of a game.
It will be one hell of a game. I'm with you on the Bills. I mentioned earlier in the pod that I have a Super Bowl ticket on the Bills to win it this year. I am taking the Bills to get out of this game. I feel bad for Jacksonville. I feel like this is the one team I think it's a bad matchup for them in this round because Josh Allen is a better quarterback than anybody else in the AFC field. I feel like if not now for Buffalo, it's not happening. So I'm going to take the points to the Bills.
And this is their last chance, I think.
Yeah, it is here. So next up, we'll go to the 4:30 game on Fox. It's usually the highest rated slot of the weekend. 49ers at the Eagles. Eagles laying 4.5 points. Nick, what are you doing?
I would lay 9 on all of the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm saying it now. I think they figured it out in the last couple of weeks in the season. And that Eagle team we saw basically run through the playoffs last year. I hate to say this as a Giants fan, I think they're back.
Yep.
I am terrified of the Eagles and what they're going to do in the playoffs. Last time these two teams met in the playoffs is when everyone got hurt on the Niners. We didn't really get a real game. Maybe the Niners want some revenge, but I don't see it happening. I think they're going to get steamrolled.
All right. I do see it happening. I'm taking the 49ers here, getting all those points because I do not trust this Eagles team. The Eagles all year have been stop and go. Is A.J. Brown happy? Do we know how to run the football? Is everybody healthy? We don't trust the play caller. I know the 49ers, as banged up as they are more locked in. They're more focused. And I think they have the mission in mind. We want to get back home and play the Super Bowl in our building. I think they get out here and they're at least in this game, if not winning it outright. So I'll take the points.
Let me ask you a question. Who do you think is number 3 on sacks for San Francisco this year?
I know that's their one big issue. They have no pass rush
Do you know
whatsoever.
who it is?
Is it Bryce Huff?
It's Nick Bosa. You know the last time he played?
Like week 6.
Week 3.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. All right, so that's game 4. Game 5, the Sunday night game on NBC. Chargers at the Patriots. Patriots laying 3.5. Nick, what are you doing here?
I think the popular pick here is going to be the Chargers because the Pats have had such an easy schedule. And I'm going to go against it and kind of use the logic of, well, the Pats' schedule's so easy because they beat everybody.
Yeah,
If the Pats lose those games, the schedule doesn't look so easy anymore, does it?
yeah.
So I know that's a thing. The Patriots' schedule has been pretty easy, but what they've done is winning's contagious. I mean, you win 14 games, it's not an accident.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I'm going to go there with you. I'm going to lay the points to the Patriots. The hook scares you a little bit, but I
Yeah.
don't trust the Chargers to protect Harbaugh and protect Justin Herbert enough to make this competitive game. I feel like this will be a game where they go in Sunday night in Foxborough. Herbert sacked 5 times, throws a big pick. I remember the last time he was in the playoffs, he threw 4 picks against the Texans. That cost the Chargers the game. So
Yep.
that might be a memory he has to get out of his head if they're going to be in this game.
Yeah, it's a shame as a Jets fan, I'm sure, to see the Patriots are seemingly just back.
Yep. That's one thing to keep an eye on here. And last pick of the week, the Monday night game. The Texans escape 4:30 on Saturday. They're not playing on Monday night. Like at the Steelers, 8:15 ESPN ABC. They are favored by 3 on the road. Nick, are you laying the points?
I am, and the reason why is the Steelers do this every year, man. Who's won more playoff games since 2010? The Steelers or the Giants?
Yeah, probably the New York Giants.
The Giants have. The
Yeah,
Steelers do this every year. They either just make it and lose or just miss it. They're gonna do it again.
yeah. And people, I'm with you on the Texans. I'm laying 3 points there as well. Houston is probably the outside of Seattle, the best defense in the league. They are on they're the highest team in the league. They've won 9 in a row going to the playoffs. Jackson won 8 in a row. So the AFC South, two teams are combined 17-game winning streak. And Pittsburgh barely got in. If Tyler Luke makes the kick, they are setting a home run now. Maybe Mike Tomlin is the one playing the Giants. So I do not like the Steelers team. I think Rodgers had his moment. I think that back will help, but I don't think this is the right matchup to take advantage of here. So I'm laying the points with the Texans. I think they move on.
Yeah, I think Rodgers had a fine season, especially for his age, but I can't see him doing anything against this Houston defense, which is absolutely incredible.
All right. So reset the picks. Nick's picks on the board here. He has gone with the Panthers getting the 10.5 at home against the Rams. The Bears laying 1.5 on Saturday night. Bills laying 1.5 Sunday afternoon. Eagles laying 4.5 on in the 4:30 slot against the Niners. Pats laying 3.5 Sunday night. Texans laying 3 on Monday night. 5 favorites for Nick.
Yeah, it can't be good when I got five. I thought about it. I was like, oh, maybe I should switch one. Just and I'm like, I guess I'll just say this: if I had to switch one of them, the one I would switch is the Chargers.
Yep. 5 picks on the other hand. So a little more distribution balance on my end here. Panther, I'm with the Nick on the Panthers getting the 10.5. Packers getting a 1.5 against the Bears. Family play on the Bills laying a 1.5. Getting 4.5 with the Niners. Family play 3.5 New England. Family play -3 with the Texans. So we have 4 family plays, 2 heads up here as we finish up the picks for wild card weekend here. So I went 3 favorites, 3 dogs.
All right, now that I have you,
Yep.
we're at the beginning of the playoffs. What
Yep.
is your prediction for the matchup in the Super Bowl? I'm assuming you're taking the Bills, considering you had the bet on them.
Yep. Bill Seattle.
Taking Bills, Seattle. I am taking the Eagles and the Patriots.
Ooh, that would not be a fun. That would be a very not fun one for us.
That's why I always assume the worst.
Yeah. Well, I like the AFC. I think like 5 teams come out of the AFC.
No, I agree. Really six.
I,
I
I
think the
think
only thing that can't come out of the AFC, I think, is Pittsburgh. The Chargers are iffy, but I think they could.
I don't think the Chargers can. I think they're too hurt.
I feel like you're right, though. The AFC is wide open. The NFC is a little less open, but still pretty open.
A little top heavy.
Yeah.
There's 3 NFC West teams and the Eagles. I don't think you're getting much out of the 2 North teams or the Panthers.
And the Panthers, I think I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. All
Like,
right.
what if I told you the Giants had a better point differential than the Panthers this year?
Yeah, that's not great.
That's not, no, one of them is picking fifth, could have been picking first in the draft if they scored like 3 less points. And the other one is hosting a playoff game.
Yep, makes a lot of sense. This is the NFL this year. And Nick, well, thank you for coming on here. Let the audience know what's up on the Sky Guys podcast. You got some fun stuff coming up.
Yeah, we are recapping season 2 episodically of The Mandalorian in preparation for the Mando and Grogu movie that comes out on Memorial Day weekend. So we're going through season 2, then eventually we're going to go through some of the newer content involving Mandalorian, trying to get everyone prepped for the movie.
Yeah, so it's a couple of months of Mando over there.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, Mando's why we started that podcast, so very exciting.
It is. And if you want to follow us on socials, not going to do that.
At Sky Guys Podcast all over social media.
All right, Nick, thank you for all the time. Really appreciate it. Let's have some fun with the best this weekend.
Yeah, look, it's a great best wild card weekend ever. Just enjoy it.